It is championship time here at the ballpark, Tempe Diablo Stadium. Joel Becker alongside for the 58-plus national championship. And on the first pitch of the game, a ground ball to short, and Truian is thrown out at first base. And very quickly, there is one out here in the first inning. Up the second batter, that's Jack Sales. He's our designated hitter for the South Dakota Rushmore visiting team. Swings at the first offering for an 0-1 count. Today it's the South Dakota Rushmores and the Sacramento River Cats, a championship ball game after a week full of action here in the 58-plus national division. And the next delivery is swung on and fouled straight back. And quickly, the count is 0-2. John Papanikolaou with the 0-2 delivery. It's a breaking ball, and it's swung on and hit into shallow left center field. Coming over and off the glove of the center fielder. It'll get in for a base hit. That was a long way to run. They could call that an error or a hit. We're waiting for the official scoring. Looks like they're going to put up an error there, and we have a base runner here in the top of the first. That'll bring up Howard Bick. He is your center fielder for the Rushmore, or for South Dakota. And the first pitch is taken inside for a ball. Man on first and one out as we're just underway here at Tempe Diablo Stadium in beautiful Tempe, Arizona. Gorgeous day today for a championship game. The 1-0 pitch is spun in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Bick making his first appearance. He'll be playing center field. Now throw over to first. And that one gets away from the first baseman, but not far away. That Sales will go to second. He was on an error. They charged an error to the center fielder on that first play. And with a 1-1 count, Papanikolaou looks in for the sign. John Papanikolaou, starter today for the River Cats, comes to the belt and to the plate. And it's swung on and hit into shallow left field. Over for it again. Left fielder, center fielder. Left fielder wants it. And he has it for the second out. Myron Cantrell is your next batter. He'll be playing first base today. And he comes on with 1 on and 2 outs here in the top of the first inning as the Rushmores try and get something going to start off with. The runner going on the pitch, which is the ball. The run down to second, and he is nailed at second base for the third out of the inning. Out stealing is Jack Sales, and nothing doing in the top of the first. After 1 inning of play, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We'll go to the bottom of the first. South Dakota nothing, and Sacramento coming up to bat. We move to the bottom of the first inning, and Sacramento will get their first crack at bat as they come up. With Kroll on the mound, his first offering of the game is a strike. This is Bruce Jaslow to start it off for the River Cats. A left-handed batter coming up here in the bottom of the first inning. And this one is poked towards second base. It's going to drop into center field for a leadoff single. And a base runner as we get started here in the bottom of the first. That'll bring up Val Lewis, another left-handed batter. Of course, these could be switch hitters. I'm not actually given that information, but batting from the left side, squares to bunt, takes a ball. The runner's going. The throw to second is not in time. And a stolen base by the leadoff hitter, Jaslow. And he's on second base now with a 1-0 count and nobody out here in the bottom of the first. And a pop out to center field for Val Lewis. That'll be the first out of the bottom of the first inning. Still a man on second, though, as the next batter, this is Brian Ross, who comes up, the third straight lefty, and he takes a strike. One on, now 1 out here in the bottom of the first. No score in this game so far, as now the catcher goes out to have a quick chat with Kroll. This is Randy Kroll, the starting pitcher for the South Dakota Rushmores. And we'll see if they want to put a play on it. He squared a bunt earlier, the second batter up, and ended up with a stolen base, did Bruce Jaslow. He is on second now. This is a 58-plus National Division Championship game from Tempe Diablo Stadium. The next pitch is swung on and driven into the gap in right center field. That one's going to get past the outfielders and to the wall. One run will score easily. And trotting into second base is Ross. He has an RBI double, and it's 1-0 for the River Cats. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter. This is Ray Newman, the first right-handed batter to come up with a man on second. Big lead over there at second base as Newman takes the ball. One run is home. It's 1-0 for the River Cats with one out here in the bottom of the first inning. The championship game for the 58-plus National Division here at the MSBL World Series in 2002. Another ball inside to Newman. They do have a base open over there at first base. Patler coming up next. Here's Kroll looking in for the sign. Has the one he wants, brings it to the belt. Now the sidearm delivery is taken for a strike, and it's 2-1. Kind of changed his delivery from the earlier part of this inning. He dropping down now for more of a sidearm delivery. And we'll see how the batters react to that, especially these right-handed batters. Here's the first one, or the first right-handed batter, Newman, and he takes a strike. Didn't like the call, thought it was low. And it's 2-2. Taking a long time there is Newman. And with 2-2 the count. And a runner on second, Ross, who was on with an RBI double. Here's the pitch. He checks his swing and takes a ball. It's 3-2, the payoff pitch coming up. A lot of pitching going through the first rounds of this tournament. Championship game, and the pitch is a ball. He walked him, and it'll be first and second with nobody out for Patler. Or, I'm sorry, with one out for Patler. Here's Lewis Patler. He's batting fifth and has two on and one out and swings at the first pitch and swings right through it for strike one. Interesting strategy in the MSBL World Series throughout, whether you're 38 plus, 48 plus, 58 plus, whatever, in terms of taking pitches and so on. Patler there swinging at the first pitch, swings at the second pitch and drives it into left field. Over there, though, is Bradshaw. He'll have it for the second out of the inning. The runners can't advance, and it'll be first and second with two outs, with Mittendorf coming up. Ron Mittendorf batting in from the left side, has two on and two out. The Ducks are on the pond. We'll see if any more damage can come home here in the bottom of the first inning. The River Cats already have put one across the plate. The first pitch swung on and hit into the gap. This one is in left center field. It's going to get by the left center fielders and all the way toward the wall. This one will score two, and it looks like Mittendorf's heading around to third. He may think, well, he's going to just stand in at third with a two-run triple, and it's 3-0 for the River Cats. Here's Chuck Tudor, and a beautiful Saturday afternoon at the ballpark, and quite a few people came out here to watch this game as Tudor takes the ball. 3-0 our score. And a couple of big hits in the inning. The first one coming from Brian Ross, who hit an RBI double, and now Ron Mittendorf with a two-run triple. Here's a swing and a ground ball to short. Easy play over to first, and the inning is over. But they played 3 runs on 2 hits. No errors and one man left on base. We'll go to the top of the second inning. It's 3-0 for the River Cats. The cleanup hitter, Myron Cantrell, was up when Jack Sales was caught stealing back in the top of the first inning, so he leads it off here in the top of the second and takes takes a strike as we get started here from Papa Nicholas in the top of the second. Here's a swing and a fly ball into center field. It'll hang up there and caught by the center fielder for the first out of the inning, and quickly there's one gone. That'll bring up Dick Sabers, and he's one of the DHs in today's game. Standing in from the left side against the lefty Papa Nicholas, and he takes the ball. They had a base runner back in the first inning, did the South Dakota Rushmore, but unable to do anything with it. Here's a ground ball to short, fielded cleanly and over to first. And there's two gone again quickly here in the top of the second. That brings up the team manager, Bob Beatty. If I got the pronunciation correctly. We're going with Beatty? Okay. That's not what the guy upstairs said, but we'll go with Beatty down here. And he swings and corks it into center field, but he hit it right at the center fielder, who makes an easy play. And there's quickly 3 up and 3 down in the top of the second. We've played 1.5 here from Tempe Diablo. It's Sacramento 3, South Dakota nothing. Leading off here in the bottom of the second inning, Al Buchholz. And quickly takes a ball from Randy Kroll out for his second inning of work. The sidearm delivery, this one a bit inside. And it's 2-0 as we're underway here in the bottom of the second inning. The River Cats spotted to a 3-0 lead by the South Dakota Rushmores to get started here in this championship game. A lot of times you see some lopsided championship scores. There's a strike called Buchholz. And Al standing in from the left side has a 2-1 count. By this point of the tournament, pitching can be awfully tired. There's a strike called, and it's 2-2. In fact, it's really surprising, amazing, and you can't say enough about the effort that goes into playing a short tournament like this with the amount of energy expended. There's a swing on a ground ball to short. This is close, and he'll throw it over to first for the first out of the inning, and they get the first guy out, which certainly always helps to make a scoreless inning. That'll bring up Irv Scott. And he takes a strike on the first pitch from Kroll. I was starting to say before the ground out, it's the amount of energy that goes into playing a game like this one. There's a ball in the dirt. It's 1-1. By the time you get to the championship game, you've played a full pool play level. You've already played in 1 or 2 playoff games. And now you're down to the end of the barrel, so to speak. Swinging a foul ball. That one will be harmlessly down the third base side, and it's still 1-2. Kroll looking for his first strikeout. This one is swung on and pop foul, and it will bounce harmlessly over the dugout and out of play. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Swung on. This one will be fair. Dunked into left field for a base hit. And once again, the River Cats have something going here in the bottom of the second inning. That'll bring up Nino Martinez. And the first offering to him is spun in there for strike one. A lot of breaking balls by Kroll, which is not uncommon at this age division. Now with a man on first and 1 out. They'll hold the runner. They've thrown out a guy stealing. The other team, actually, the Rushmores did earlier. Or I should say the River Cats threw him out. The Rushmores had a guy caught stealing earlier. 1-1 now the count to Nino Martinez. After that, we go back to the top of the order. Here's a swing and a ground ball comebacker. Nice play by the pitcher. He'll go to second for one and to first. A double play. An outstanding defensive play there by Kroll. Over to second for the out, and a nice relay throw to first base, and a double play was turned. Scored 1-4-3 if you're scoring at home, and after 2, it's 3-0 River Cats. Well, he hit the 7th spot in the order, and Joe Pyle is up, and the first pitch of the third inning is a called strike. John Papanikolaou out for his third inning of work and has done well so far. Allowed a base runner on an error. Here's a ground ball to second. Oh, ranging to his left. Couldn't quite make the play over there, Irv Scott. And looks like he'll dust himself off and be okay. And the runner gets to first base. We'll wait on a score. Whether that'll be charged an error. Looks like it is charged an error to the second baseman, Scott. And so there's another base runner by virtue of an error. That'll bring up Bev Bradshaw, standing in from the left side with a runner on first, and Papanikolaou with a quick check over there. Boy, I tell you what, that was a tough play for the second baseman, and Scott getting charged with the error, but I'll tell you what, that'd have been a tough play for anybody. Another throw over to first. Sales, who also got on an error back in the first inning, was thrown out stealing later that inning. And so far, the Rushmores haven't had anybody pass second base, actually pass first. Here's the first pitch, and it's a called strike one, as Bradshaw saw one spin in a bit inside. Didn't like the call, but it'll stand in there with an 0-1 count. Pile out to a lead. Papa Nicholas to the belt to throw over to first. And another back in time. Pyle really didn't have much of a lead over there, so they're certainly giving him plenty of attention. Here's the pitch. Swung on and grounded up the middle. That'll be a base hit. That should make it first and second. Nobody out here in the top of the third, and the Rushmores are starting to threaten. First hit of the game against Papa Nicholas. A base hit up the middle, first and second. That'll bring up Darryl Sabers. And the first pitch, a ball to him. First and second, nobody out. We'll see what happens. One of the things about the National Division is you assume these guys really know what they're doing in terms of whether to go and not to go. Pretty good lead over there at second base. Another ball taken by Sabers. Couple of Sabers, Darryl and Dick on this team. Dick Harley up earlier and grounded to short. Now a throw to first. Easily back in there is Bradshaw. 2-0 the count, a hitter's count to Sabers. We'll see if he's taking on this pitch, as he is the ninth man in the order. The pitch is swung on, and he was a little out in front of it, fouled it off of himself. I think it hit his foot or his knee. Foul ball, and it's 2-1. Starting to allude to that earlier, you'd think that these guys would know what they're doing in terms of strategy is concerned, and here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and a comebacker to the pitcher. He'll go to third for one. Now they go over to first and not in time. But they do get the lead runner, and there's first and second with one out. We'll call that a fielder's choice. Jerry Cluse, the shortstop, now the batter. And he is hit by the pitch on the first pitch, and he will go to first and load up the bases. Bases are loaded with the top of the order coming up. Phil Truian, your leadoff hitter, is up now with the bases loaded and one out, and the first pitch to him is taken for a strike. Truian grounded to short his first time up, so he didn't make contact. He plays second base for the Rushmores. This pitch is swung on, hit up the middle. Nice play by Papa Nicholas. He'll go home with it and get the force out. Fielder's choice once again. The bases will remain loaded now with two outs for Sales. So Sales stands in there with the bases loaded, two outs. There's a swing and a foul out of play back here on the first base side. Sales flew out to, I should say, well, he should have flown out apparently to center field, but it was an error and got on that error back in the first inning. He was later caught stealing, though. So he gave it a pretty good ride the first time. He definitely wants to drive the ball if he can. 0-1 the count, and here's the pitch. Swung on and grounded to short. Nice play, easy toss to second, and the inning is over. So three straight fielders' choices, and the Rushmores were unable to do anything with any of their batters. We go to the bottom of the third. It's 3-0 River Cats. Okay, we go to the bottom of the third inning. The River Cats with that 3-0 lead they developed in the bottom of the first, and the first batter as we get to the top of the third is Bruce Jaslow. He's the top of the order leadoff hitter, and he takes a strike to start it off. The next ball is hit to second base. An easy play for the second baseman over to first. And Scott is true. There is one gone. Should quickly apologize for you. I think we've been calling the pitcher Randy Crowell, and we've been informed that Randy Crowell is the way to pronounce the pitcher's name. So sorry about that. And as Val Lewis comes up, Crowell will head to the mound to see if he can't continue the out streak. He's up to 2 now. 4-3 if you're scoring at home on the first out. And Lewis takes the ball. He flew out to center his last time up. This time he'll take one right over the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Crowell with more of a submarine delivery that time and a swing on the miss. It's 1-2. When he started the game, he was throwing overhand, and as the game has progressed, he's getting lower and lower. Of course, on the other hand, we had a full underhand delivery by some guy earlier in this. It wasn't in this division. There's a swing and a ground ball base hit down the first or third base side. It gets past third base and into the outfield. Left fielder is able to get it in quickly, and a single for Val Lewis. That'll bring up Brian Ross. He had an RBI double his first time up. Hit the ball pretty hard into the right center field gap, and now with Val Lewis on first base, have another chance to perhaps drive in a run. Lewis, I've been informed by Mr. Lowry to my left, was one of the originators of the father-son division. There's a swing at a ground ball off the pitcher. Didn't know where the ball was, and it'll be a base hit. Can't really call that one an error because it just deflected off of him. I think he would have been able to throw him out at first had he known where the ball was, and they'll go out and check on the status of Randy Crowell. Well, Crowell, I believe, took a ball off the pitching hand there, and they checked him over pretty good. He tried a couple of practice tosses and seems to be okay. He's going to grit it out anyway, and that'll bring up Ray Newman. The cleanup hitter takes the ball on the first offering. He walked in the first inning and later scored on Mittendorf's RBI triple. 3-0 our score. The River Cats on top of the Rushmores. There's another pitch inside, and it's 2-0. There are men at first and second, a couple of base hits by Lewis and Ross. And there's one out here in the third, another one inside, and since he came back from the injury, or since he got hit, he has put each of the first three pitches well inside. Crowell, we'll see what he does on 3-0. There's the sidearm delivery. At least that one was outside, but it is a ball, and that's ball 4. And for the second time in this game, Ray Newman walks, this time to load the bases for Lewis Patlick. Well, that'll bring up, Patler, Lewis Patler. I believe I called him Patlick a second ago, and I mean Patler. He flew out to left field his last time up, so he got good wood on the ball, but this time with the Ducks on the pond, we'll see if he can't do a little more with it. As he takes a strike, the count goes to 0-2 quickly on Patler. Bases loaded, one out. If whatever happens, Mittendorf will come up next. He hit a 2-run triple his last time up. There's a swing and a foul as Patler stays alive, able to poke that one behind home plate. Looks like Crowell has found the strike zone again. This time, though, he puts it well up high, and Patler does a good job of leaning out of the way. We do have a courtesy runner, by the way, on first base. That's Nino Martinez. There's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and hit into right field. That should be a play for the right fielder. He makes the grab, the throw toward home, and it's a good, strong throw, and they don't even bother to try and score. So the bases will stay loaded with 2 outs for Ron Mittendorf. Well, that'll bring in Mittendorf, and I'll tell you what, sometimes there are turning points in championship games, and this could be one of them right here. Bases loaded, 2 out. There's a ball to Mittendorf. He hit a real hard shot down the alley between left and center field to score 2 runs back in the first inning. Here's the pitch, and he takes a strike. 1-1 the count. Mittendorf with a 3-run triple was stranded at third base in the first inning, but here with the bases loaded and 2 outs right now, certainly the Rushmores are well within striking distance, down 3-0, but another strong hit from Mittendorf could change all that. There's a fly ball foul. There could be a play on this one, and it does end up bouncing harmlessly right there at the edge of the lip of the grass as you near the warning track over on the third base side. That'll make the count 1-2. Bases loaded, 2 outs the pitch. And he takes that one just outside, 2-2. Boy, good eye from Mittendorf there. That's a close pitch to be taking with the bases loaded there. Have to really trust that umpire. Here's the pitch. Swung on and bounced towards short. Oh, he drops the ball, and it looks like we're going to have an error on the shortstop. And 1 run comes home, and it's 4-0. There's the next pitch. Next batter is Chuck Tudor. He made some good plays out in the center field. We'll call that E6, so no RBI, but he gets on first base, and the base is still loaded for Tudor. Tudor grounded to short his last time up to end the first inning. Jerry Kliss over there at shortstop having a hard time with that bounding ball. Now the count 1-1. The pitch to Kliss is inside, and it's 2-1. Still not too bad, though, with the bases loaded and 2 outs if they can get Kliss and go into the dugout, still down just by 4. There's a swing and a fly ball. It's in foul territory, and it looks like the catcher came up with a bit of a cramp there in his knee or tripped over something and unable to get to the ball, and it'll stay 2-2. So 2-2 the count to Chuck Tudor, and the pitch is swung on, and this one is dropped into right field. It'll be a base hit. It'll score a run, and it's 5-0 on an RBI single by Chuck Tudor. That'll bring up Al Buchholz with the bases still loaded in 2 outs, and he takes a strike. Buchholz grounded to short to lead off the bottom of the second inning. It's 5-0. There's a swing and a ground ball to second. Play by Truian. Over to first, and the inning is over. But they scored 2 runs and tack on a pair to make it 5-0 after 3. Well, we go into the 4th inning, top of the 4th, and Howard Bish is coming up. And Papa Nicholas's first pitch is a ball outside. They've been calling him Bick on the PA announcer, but I've been informed that it's pronounced Bish. So Howard takes a strike, and it's 1-1. 5-0 our score, and it doesn't take very long in these championship games before you feel like you're starting to run out of innings. It's only the 4th, though, so far. And here's a ball up high. 2-1 now the count to Bish. Bish flew out to left field his first time up back in the first. There's a swing and a hard hit ball through the hole between short and third, and a base hit for Bish to lead off here in the top of the 4th. That'll bring up Cantrell, started the game at first, although I believe Jaslow's playing over there now, so he'll be called a DH then. Cleanup hitter, and he finds himself with a man on first and nobody out here in the top of the 4th, and the Rushmores really do need to get something going pretty quickly here if they're going to make some noise in this championship game. Down by 5 to the River Cats from Sacramento. Papa Nicholas has been throwing a gem so far. Here's the pitch. That one taken for a strike. It's 1-1. Papa Nicholas allowed his first hit only last inning, and he's allowed 3 so far in this game. That's the first leadoff hitter on. That's the first leadoff hitter who hit his way on, actually. We did have a guy on an error last inning as he checks the runner Bish over at first base. The lefty, Papa Nicholas, the pitch. Swung on and hit. There's a base hit into right field. That should get the runner to second. I don't believe he's going to try for third. It'll be first and second with nobody out, and Sabres coming up. So Sabres, the number 5 hitter on with 2 on and nobody out here. And there's a swing and a pop foul back off the screen. Foul out of play, and it's 0-1. Sabres grounded a short last time up. Swings and hits this one toward the shortstop over his head into left field for a base hit. There was a chance he actually might have been able to throw the runner out between second and third, but took a little too long to decide what to do with it. We'll call it a single, and bases loaded with nobody out for Bob Beatty. So Beatty, who's the manager of the team, stands in with the bases loaded. His first pitch, he takes a strike. Beatty's also the catcher for the Rushmores. As looks like, speaking of catchers, Gene Herman decides he wants to go out and have a quick talk with the lefty, John Papa Nicholas, who finds himself in his first real jam of this game. With an 0-1 count, nobody out in the sacks, jammed with Beatty up here in the top of the 4th, and the Rushmores really needing to do some damage here to get back in this game. They will certainly give up the run for the double play. The pitch is taken for a ball, no, ball low. It's 1-1. Infield pulled in here for the play at the plate or possibly a double play. And the 1-1 pitch swung on and popped up on the infield. The infield fly rule in effect, and so Beatty's out. It's caught by the shortstop for the first out of the inning, and the bases remain loaded. Still some confusion as to how to pronounce his name. Depending on who you believe, we're going to call him Beatty. And that'll bring up Pyle with one out and the bases loaded. We need a pronunciation guide up here. Here's the first pitch to Pyle. That was right down central for a strike. Boy, talk about challenging a hitter. Pyle, who got on an error his first time up, was later stranded at or erased on a fielder's choice. And he takes the ball. It's 1-1. This is that opportunity that the Rushmores were looking for. Still with the bases loaded and one out, there's a lot of damage that could be done. They need to avoid the strikeout and the double play. They definitely need to get some runs across. Here's a swing and a pop-up. It's in foul territory, and it's out of play on the first base side, 1-2. So the 1-2 pitch is swung on, and it's a comebacker. That one to home for first. And first, it's a 1-2-3 double play, and the River Cats escape the inning with no damage done. Couple of hits, 3 base hits, and they leave 2. No runs scored, and after 3.5, it's River Cats 5 and Rushmore's nothing. Well, we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, and Irv Scott leads off with a ground ball to third, and looks like Pyle will gun him out at first, and quickly one gone here in the bottom of the 4th inning. That'll bring up Nino Martinez. He grounded into a double play his last time up in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Guarantee he won't do that this time. Takes a strike. Nobody on. One out. Here in the bottom of the 4th, and the River Cats enjoying a 5-0 lead. There's a swing and a ground ball to short. Here's Kliss over to first, and there's 2 away. And that'll bring around the top of the order in Jaslow. He takes a strike to start it off here. He got on in the 1st on a single and then grounded out to 2nd in the 3rd. Scored a run. There's a swing and a pop-up on the infield. Who wants it? Looks like the pitcher has it. And very quickly, the inning is over. 3 up, 3 down for the River Cats. We have played 4 full. River Cats lead at 5-0 over South Dakota. John Papanikolaou heads out for his 5th inning of work here in the top of the 5th at Tempe Diablo. He's only allowed 5 hits in 4 innings, and Ev Bradshaw swings and hits one into left field. That'll be bounced in there for a base hit, as it looks like Mittendorf could only trap it. And he'll be on with a leadoff single here in the top of the 5th. Now Darryl Sabers stands in with a man on first and nobody out. Last 3 innings, the Rushmores are doing a good job getting some base runners. They just haven't managed to get one across the plate. They'll take a ball to lead off this at-bat, and it's 1-0 with a man on first and nobody out. There's the throw to first. No action in the bullpen, in case you're wondering, on either side for that matter, as Papanikolaou has had a pretty good run so far. He's been able to work out of the one jam he was in. This one in the dirt. It's going to get away from the catcher. And as Herman chases after it, it looks like Bradshaw will take second base on what we'll call a wild pitch, as that hit the dirt before it got to the catcher. And there'll be a runner at second with nobody out. 2-0 the count to Sabres. Papanikolaou looks in for the sign, has what he wants, to the belt and to the plate. He takes this one for a called strike, and it's 2-1. Jerry Kliss, the shortstop, waiting on deck. Then it'll be the top of the order. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit one just over third in foul territory, but he was unable to make the catch, so it'll be a foul ball. And no damage done. 2-2 the count. McKeever over there at third, I believe, and we'll see if that comes back to haunt him as he swings and pops one into shallow left center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. The batter on second, the runner I should say on second, had to wait to see if it was going to be caught, so he'll stay at second as Bradshaw. And it'll be first and second with nobody out and Jerry Kliss up. So Kliss, the shortstop, stands in there with 2 on and nobody out. Once again for the Rushmores, an opportunity to get some runs across. Instead, a ground ball to third, over to third for 1 out to first. He just beat it out at first base, and so they'll have the lead runner on the force. As a good job over there by McKeever to make the play and get the lead runner. So first and second now with 1 out as we hit the top of the order, and Phil Troyan. We'll score that one, a fielder's choice 5 unassisted. And Troyan takes the ball. Troyan, the leadoff hitter, has grounded to short and on a fielder's choice. He's 0 for 2 so far today. Comes up with again for runners at first and second, and now there is 1 out. Takes the ball outside, and it's 2-0. So the Rushmores have threatened in each of the last 3 innings, including this 5th inning, but have yet to plate a runner. There's a throw to first. The runner on first standing on the bag, so not much chance of getting him there. And Papa Nicholas will check in for a sign once again. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Troyan. He takes a strike, and it's 2-1. Kliss did a good job hustling down to first base to just barely beat out that throw from McKeever. We could have had a double play. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and swung, and that's a base hit to right. That'll load the bases with 1 out for Jack Sales. So Sales comes up. He is 0 for 2. Got on an error and was caught stealing in the first, and grounded into a fielder's choice back in the 3rd inning. And so once again, he got the bases loaded. This is, I believe, the 3rd straight inning they've had the bases loaded now for the Rushmores. And now it looks like they're going to talk things over and see whether or not we got a courtesy runner coming in, perhaps. So Sales still awaiting his first pitch. Here it is on the way, and he takes the ball. It's 1-0. They have a pinch runner over at first base to see if they can't get a little extra movement over there. And the next pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 1. 1-1 the count. The Rushmores really could use some runs here. 5-0 the score. 5 runs, 7 hits, and an error for the River Cats. No runs on 8 hits and 1 error for the Rushmores as Sales takes the ball, and it's 2-1. A good hitter's count here at 2-1 with the sacks jammed and 1 out. And time is called. Papa Nicholas works very quickly for a pitcher. He's pitching from the full line with the bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Swung on and belted down the third baseline. McKeever will go home with it, and he'll get the force out, and there are 2 away. So that'll bring up Howard Bish, who has singled in the game. Here's a swing and a miss, strike 1. Bish singled and also flew out to left. He's 1 for 2. They need a 2-out hit here. The bases are loaded. Interesting choice there for McKeever. He went home with it. He could have touched third and then went home. There's a swing and a ground ball to first. Oh, the first baseman with a tough play over to Papa Nicholas covering. A nice play all the way around, and the inning is over. Scored that one 3-1 on the putout, and no one scores once again for the Rushmores. They do get, let's see, 1, 2, 3 hits. And they leave 3 on base as we go to the bottom of the 5th. It's River Cats on top, 5-0. Val Lewis will lead off here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and he takes the first pitch and sends it into deep right field, but over to make the play. A nice play of the right fielder. And quickly there is 1 gone, and I tell you what, we have... Crowell has been able to just send them down here. The last 4 batters to come up have gone down very quickly, and Ross will be up next. Well, let's see if Krall has his easy time with Ross. He certainly hasn't up till now. Ross 2 for 2 with a single and a double and an RBI in this game, and he swings and bounces one to first. First baseman makes the play. He'll take it himself. 3 unassisted, and it's quickly 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Well, the heart of the order has been no problem so far for Krall as Newman takes a strike. Ray Newman up, and he also has been on twice. He's walked twice and scored a run. This time he's hit by a pitch, and he'll be on for the 3rd straight time without hitting the ball. This time he let the ball hit him. That'll bring up Lewis Patler, batting 5th tonight. He has flown out twice, once to left and once to right. As a man on first and 2 outs. Krall's pitch is swung on, and this one is hit foul. There could be a play on the third baseman, and he couldn't quite get to it. And he'll let it bounce in as Pyle went over to make the play, but kind of ran out of room. Patler 0 for 2 with 0-2 count on him. This time a ball, and it'll be 1-2 with a runner on first. It'd be interesting to see if Newman maybe wants to do some running here with his teammate behind in the count and 2 outs. Sometimes a good time to check the catcher's ability. Here's the 1-2 instead. Krall steps off. Once another sign. Looks in toward Herman, or I should say Beatty. And there's a swing and a foul straight back, and we'll do it again at 1-2. You'll want to stay in your seats. We have a trivia question coming up next inning for you. Here's a swing and another foul. This one could be playable. First base side, and the first baseman, and that's Jaslow, made the play, and the inning is over. Foul out to first. They have, it's 4 up and 3 down. 1 hit batsman, no hits, no runs, and 1 man left. We'll go to the 6th. It's 5-0 for the River Cats. Well, nothing but goose eggs on the board for the Rushmores as far as the runs scored column is concerned, but they've managed to leave 8 people on base over the course of the last 3 innings. And to lead it off here in the top of the 6th, it's Myron Cantrell, the number 4 hitter. Can't clean up if there's nobody on base and you're leading off, but he takes a ball. It's 2-0 as John Papanikolaou out for his 6th inning of work. Been in trouble the last 3 innings, but has gotten out of it each time. Now 3-0. Each of those innings he put the leadoff man on, did Papanikolaou. We'll see if he makes that mistake again. So far it has not come back to bite him, but you can only go to the well so many times. There's ball 4, and on 4 straight pitches, Myron Cantrell gets a free ticket to first. That'll bring up Dick Sabers. He has a base hit tonight, 1 for 2, a single and a ground out. And the first pitch, this one grounded to second. Double play ball if they hurry. Oh, and he drops the ball, does the second baseman Scott, and that'll be an error. And it'll be 2 on and nobody out for Bob Beatty. I think that was a case of trying to rush what you were doing before you had a chance to do it. Oh, this one gets away from the catcher, and the runners will move up. And that will be either a pass ball or a wild pitch. I'm going to look over to Jeff to get the official score. We'll go for the wild pitch. I think that's probably the right call. The ball was in the dirt and probably hit the dirt before he got to the catcher. So a wild pitch, and it's 2nd and 3rd with nobody out and Beatty up. Beatty's 0 for 2. He flew out to center and popped out to short, but now you got a base open with 1 ball to count. Here's the pitch to Beatty, and he will take a strike. You, on the other hand, also have a 5-run lead if you're the River Cats. 1-1 the count. 2 on, nobody out. Here's the pitch. Swung on and grounded toward third, and no play. Oh, he throws home, and that'll load up the bases. That was I guess, a mental error there by McKeever, who I guess assumed that the runner would be going and threw home even though the runner was not going, and the bases are loaded for Joe Pyle. That'll bring up Joe Pyle. You'll score that a fielder's choice to Beatty because he could have been thrown out, obviously, and Jeff Lowry, standing behind the camera, notes that maybe just assumed the bases were loaded. They have been for the last 4 innings now, as they are right now, and Pyle takes the ball. Papa Nicholas delivers. Swung on and missed. He swung right through that one. Foul tip, in fact. And it's 0-2, actually. To the first pitch was a strike, apparently. So quickly 0-2 on Pyle. Bases loaded, nobody out. Here's the pitch. Swung on and grounded weakly in front of home. Do they have a play? Barehand throw will be to first, and the shutout is broken as Pyle is thrown out at first, but a run comes home, and it's 5-1. So that'll bring up Ev Bradshaw with now runners on second and third. And 1 out and run home. 5-1 our score. Bradshaw takes the ball. He, so far this game, is 2 for 2 with a pair of base hits. He's been negated on fielder's choices both times he's been up. But a base hit could score 2. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit hard, but fouled out of the first base line. And it goes out of play. Well, now we get some action in the River Cat bullpen as there's a swing and a ground ball to short. That'll get a run home. A throw to first is in time, and the runners advance to third and home, and it is 5-2 on another RBI ground out from Ed Bradshaw. That'll bring up Darryl Sabers. He is 1 for 2. Got on both times, though. He's been on twice, hit a single, and was on a fielder's choice. And he swings and hits one to third. McKeever has it. This time throws to first, and the inning is over. But they plate 2, and with shutout is broken after 5.5 innings. We've got a ball game, folks. It's 5-2 in favor of the River Cats. Well, we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and to lead it off, Ron Mittendorf, who's had a good day, a 2-run triple, and he also got on an error, has been on twice, a couple of RBIs, and he takes a ball. Interesting situation. In the last 3 innings, they've allowed 8 batters left on base for the Rushmores. In the last inning, they managed to score 2 runs without any hits. And this one off the leg of the pitcher and into left field. That'll be a base hit for Mittendorf. But they managed to score 2 runs with no hits and nobody left, amazingly enough. Now as Chuck Tudor comes to the plate with a man on first and nobody out, it's time for our trivia question. What's our trivia question? The only player in Major League history to win batting titles in his first 2 seasons. There's your trivia question. We'll give you the answer whenever we're good and ready. 0-1 the count to Chuck Tudor. Man on first. And here's the pitch. Swung on and hit down the third base line and just foul. Boy, the third baseman down there, Joe Pyle, was in very shallow on the grass looking for a possible bunt. And it looks like Tudor may have broken his bat, and it's 0-2. So 0-2 the count as another piece of lumber for Mr. Tudor. The pitch is inside, and it's 1-2. Still a man on first and nobody out. River Cats have seen their lead cut from 5-0 to 5-2. As finally the Rushmore is able to push across a couple of runs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He's strikes out. First strikeout of the game, a swinging strikeout for Chuck Tudor, and Crowell registers his first strikeout. I'll bring up Buchholz, or it looks like we may have a pinch hitter. We'll let you know in a minute. Well, we do have a pinch hitter. It's John Blackwell, who was playing first earlier in the game. He'll enter here in the bottom of the 6th inning for Al Buchholz, who may come in to pitch. He was thrown in the bullpen earlier. 1 on, 1 out, looking for a bunt. The runner is going. The pitch is a ball. The throw is in time, and they throw him out stealing once again. And that's Bob Beatty. And he throws out his first guy. Caught stealing is Mittendorf. And they're now 2 gone. There's a swing and a ground ball weakly to first base. And the play made by Jaslow, and the inning is over. So as it turns out, even though we did have the base hit, man caught stealing, 3 up, 3 down for the River Cats. We have played 6 full here at Tempe Diablo Stadium, and it's 5-2 Sacramento. Well, Jerry Kliss leads off here in the top of the 7th inning and takes a strike. Interesting situation here as there's a swing and a miss in strike 2 as Papa Nicholas is out for inning number 7. Thought we might get a different pitcher, but it's still Papa Nicholas, isn't it? And here's the 0-2 pitch. It's knocked foul down the first base slide. Last inning, when the Rushmores were able to put a couple of runs across, they had no hits. They had a walk, they had a man on an error, they had a fielder's choice, then they had an RBI ground out, another RBI ground out, and then a third ground out to end the inning. There's a ball well outside. It's 2-2. So without actually getting a hit, they managed to plate 2. In the innings before that, they had 3, 6, 8 hits. There's the swing, and a ground ball went off the pitcher toward first. The throw just got him on an outstanding play by Papa Nicholas. Nice catch over there at first base by Blackwell as well. And there's 1 out. Well, all the players in this game are at least 58 years old. There's a swing and a fly ball to center field. That one off the bat of... Actually, that was a pinch hitter, McElhaney. And there's 2 gone. And that'll bring up Sales. He's had a busy day, a couple of fielder's choices. Ooh, that one, catcher took a little bit of a funny hop off of him. And it's 0-1 off the foul ball. I was starting to say every player on this on the field right now is at least 58 years old, some of them significantly older than that. And here John Papa Nicholas was able to make a skate save on that ball back to the mound and still throw him out at first base. There's a swing and a foul out of play on the third base side, and it's 0-2. I think we call that a blocker save, actually. There's a swing and a fly ball. Will it stay fair? It is foul on the first base side, and we'll do it again at 0-2. So 0-2 still the count to Sales as we're all set for the pitch, and it is swung on, and this one hit to second over the second baseman's head and into right field for a base hit. So Sales did a good job of working the count, finally got a pitch he could hit, and poked it into right for a 2-out single. That'll bring up Bish with 2 outs and 1 on, and first pitch just a bit inside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Boy, I've seen a little bit of everything in this game. Sacramento still enjoying a 3-1 lead. Next pitch is over but low for a ball. 2-0 now the count. We'll see if Bish is swinging, if maybe the runner might be going. Sales was caught stealing in the first inning. To the belt, Papa Nicholas, the plate. He's taken all the way, and he took ball 3. It almost seems as if Papa Nicholas wants nothing of Howard Bish, who has a single, and he's 1 for 3. There's a strike called on the 3-0 count. And here we go with 3-1. Will the runner go? Not much of a lead. Oh, they have him picked off, and he is out at first. They had him leaning as Sales was looking to go on the pitch. A nice pickoff move to first, and the inning is over. As it turns up, 3 up, 3 down. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man picked off. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's 5-2 River Cats. Randy Crowell out for inning number 7. We still have both the original pitchers facing Irv Scott, who takes a strike. And I tell you what, Crowell has given up 5 runs, but ever since the 3rd inning has really settled down and is pitching a rather good game. I'm counting here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 9 out of the last 11 batters have gone down. The only people to make it was one man who was hit by a pitch and 1 single. So he's given up 1 hit in the last 3 innings. And with 11 people up, he's managed to knock down 9 of them. 1-2 now the count to Scott. And the pitch is taken for ball 2. It's 2-2. So Crowell has done a very good job. In fact, it was really just after he got hit with the comebacker that he kind of settled down and started pitching well. There's a swing and a foul straight back. Actually, I tell you something else, too. If you'll notice, that pitch there was not nearly as much of a submarine delivery as before. He's kind of reverting back to that 3/4 style pitch, and he seemed to be more effective that way. So 2-2 the count to Scott. He's 1 for 2. He singled in the 2nd and grounded out in the 4th. Up here in the 7th, and the pitch is swung on and grounded to short. And the throw over to first is in time, and there's 1 gone. That'll bring up Nino Martinez with 1 out, nothing doing here in the bottom of the 7th inning. I know you're still waiting to hear the answer to that trivia question, so we won't make you wait too much longer. Here's the first pitch. It's taken for a strike. The question was, who is the first and only Major League Baseball player to win a batting title in his first 2 seasons? And if you were thinking that it was Rod Carew, then you'd be close. You're on the right team, but not the right player.
You don't get a Cuban cigar.
2-0 is the count. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hitting the infield, popped up. First baseman wants it, and there's 2 gone. That'll bring up the top of the order and Bruce Jaslow. And to finish it off real quickly, the answer to your trivia question from the Minnesota Twins, Tony Oliva. In his first 2 seasons won a batting title, the only major leaguer to do so. At least according to Jeff Lowry. I know nothing about these sorts of things. I just read what I'm told. I'm a talking head, if you hadn't noticed. There's a strike to Jaslow.
Eye candy, right? Eye candy.
Eye candy? Is that what I am? Okay. Oh, and another hit batsman. That is his, I think, 3rd of the game. Either 2nd or 3rd. And again, the River Cats have a base runner. They've only had 1 hit in their last 4 innings. But Jaslow gets on the hit batsman, and that'll bring up Val Lewis with 1 on and 2 outs. So we'll see if Jaslow wants to do some running. He goes on the first pitch. The throw to second base is in time, but the tag is late, and a stolen base for Jaslow. Good throw by the catcher on that play. That's Bob Beatty, excuse me. But Kliss was a little late getting over there to cover the bag, and by the time he caught the ball and tried to apply the tag, Jaslow had already gotten in with a stolen base. By the way, we got another trivia question for you later. I'm sure you're excited. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Instead, Crowell will step off with a man on second and 2 outs. Val Lewis up. Lewis has a base hit. He's 1 for 3. He's also flown out to center and right. Here's the pitch. It's swung on, hit to short. Kliss will make the play. Oh, he booted it. And everybody's safe, 1st and 3rd on the error to the shortstop. Now we get Brian Ross, who is 2 for 3 with a double and a single. And runners at the corners and 2 outs. So Crowell in a bit of a jam here. Jerry Kliss taking a look at first, just a little bit too early on that play. You gotta wait till it happens. That's ball 2 to Ross. RBI double in the first, singled and scored in 3rd. He scored twice. Grounded out in the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Outside, and it's 3-0. Waiting on deck, the cleanup hitter, Ray Newman. 3-0 the count, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th, 5-2 for the River Cats. So they're trying to avoid making it any more. And on 4 straight pitches, Brian Ross is walked. to load the bases. Well, here's the cleanup hitter, Ray Newman. That one well outside, but a good job on Crowell's part to get into position, and also a good job for Beatty to keep the ball from getting too far away from him, and that'll keep the runners from advancing with the bases loaded. And a 1-ball count to Ray Newman. Cleanup hitter up with the bases loaded, and Ray has been on 3 straight times without touching the ball. Well, that's not entirely true. One time the ball touched him as he walked his first 2 times up, and he was hit by a ball in the 5th inning. If Crowell does that to him this time, then a run will score. 2-0 is the count. And they don't have much choice but to pitch to him right now. The bases are loaded. 2-0 the pitch. And it's taken for a strike. 2-1. Sacks are jammed, a sidearm delivery, and that one up and in. It's 3-1, and Crowell in danger of walking in a run. Taking a glance down at the bullpens, neither one have any activity going on, and we are in the 7th inning. Here's the pitch, taken for a strike, and the runner going ahead is tagged out at home. Oh my goodness, what a mental error there. The runner on third base, Bruce Jaslow, thought it was a walk, raced down to home, and alertly Bob Beatty put the tag on, and he's out for the 3rd out of the inning. So no runs come home. They strand a pair, and after 7, the score remains 5-2. Well, we go to the 8th inning, and Howard Bish is up to start it off. 5-2 our score. Rather interesting play to end that inning. Here's a swing and a pop foul, and it is going to drop harmlessly behind first base. Good effort over there, but really couldn't have gotten to that one. Bish now with a 1-1 count. He was up at the end of the last inning when the runner Sales was picked off. Now here's a swing and a pop foul back here. It'll be a little short of the broadcast booth as it doesn't quite clear the screen. And the count goes to 1-2. Working quickly. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit foul down the third base line. And Papa Nicholas is ready with the 1-2 offering. It went outside, and it's 2-2. Papa Nicholas out for his 8th inning of work. Now we do have some action, though, over in the River Cats bullpen. Just probably because of the number of pitches being thrown. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung and fouled straight back, and we'll do it again at 2-2. Leading off here in the top of the 8th, Bish, 2-2. This pitch is swung on, hit to third. It goes under the legs of the third baseman. The shortstop throws to first, and not quite in time as Blackwell couldn't quite hang on to the ball. And I'm not sure if he had caught that cleanly whether or not it would have been an out or not, but luckily the umpire didn't have to make that judgment, and we'll call it a base hit or an error. I think they're going to give him an error on the third baseman. So a man on with nobody out, and we could see a pitching change. Well, no pitching change. Papa Nicholas to face the left-hander Myron Cantrell. And Myron takes the ball, 1-0 the count. Nobody out here, top of the 8th. We've only got 2 more chances for the Rushmores, down by 3. Here in the championship game of the 58 National Age Division at the 2002 MSBL World Series. Strike called on Myron Cantrell. The count 1-1. Man on first is Bish. Papa Nicholas from the belt will go to first. Already picked off a man did last inning. That was how last inning ended. A real interesting play. And the count remains 1-1 to Cantrell, who has a hit tonight and has scored a run. 1-4-2 for Cantrell. He flew out to center, singled, walked, and scored in the 6th with a 2-1 pitch. There's a swing and a foul ball. I believe it is just foul territory. The pitcher, Papa Nicholas, makes the play, and there's 1 out. John Papa Nicholas, like a cat off the mound there, making a good play. There's a swing and a foul off the stick of Dick Sabers. Sabers singled as well. Also is on an error in the 6th and scored a run. And grounded to short. He's 1 for 3. Man on first and 1 out. Papa Nicholas pitching. And right back to him. He was unable to get the ball. Oh, this is going to end up being a double play. And what happened there was Papa Nicholas on the line drive straight back to him, caught the ball but dropped it, so he was out. That is to say, the batter was not out because he dropped the ball, but he threw to first. The first baseman tagged the bag. The runner on first going to second thought that the ball had been caught, so went back to the bag and was tagged out as a live runner. So the double play will go 1-3, and the inning is over. One more chance for the Rushmores. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. They definitely need to hold them. It's 5-2 River Cats. Well, we've had our share of odd endings to innings in this game, and the last inning ended kind of strangely as Crowell comes out for the bottom of the 8th to face Ray Newman. Now, Newman, speaking of odd innings, was up when the last inning ended. He had a 3-1 count on him, and this time he'll swing and pop one up the middle. That'll be a base hit for Newman. That's his first hit of the game as he's 1 for 1. He was on a walk, a pair of walks and a hit by pitch, so he's on first with nobody out, and Patler coming up here in the top of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th, I should say. Well, that'll bring up Lewis Patler with a man on and nobody out. The first pitch from Crowell is taken for a ball up high. Now, we're starting to say Ray Newman was up. He had a 3-1 count on and the bases loaded, and the pitch came in. The runner on third thought it was a walk, but it wasn't. It was called a strike. There's a strike to Patler. So the count became 3-2, but because he thought it was a walk, the runner on third trotted toward home. The catcher still had the ball, and he tagged him out as a live base runner, and the inning was over. So that was the odd inning last time and why Ray was still up. Now squared a bunt and a bunt foul for Patler, and the count will go to 1-2. So that's how that last inning ended when the River Cats were up. Last inning when the Rushmores were up ended when the ball was smacked straight back at Papa Nicholas, the pitcher. He tried to make the play, catch it. He caught it, seemed like momentarily, then dropped it. Then it became a ground ball, basically, through to first. And when the first baseman tagged the bag as the ball goes foul out of play, he became a putout. The runner that was on second, who was coming back because he thought it was lined out, ended up getting tagged out by the first baseman, and there was a double play. 1-2 the count. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th. Swing and a miss, and that will be a strikeout as they throw to first to complete the play, and there'll be one out. I don't know how the rules are in the 58 National Division here, but I didn't believe that you could go to first on a drop third strike when there was a runner on first like that. I thought he was out all by himself and the runner had to stay at first, but apparently not, because he does advance to second as Ray Newman, and so he'll be at second with one out and Mittendorf up. So the first pitch to Mittendorf is a called strike one. Mittendorf's had a good game. He had a two-run triple in the first, also gone on an error, and singled in the 6th, so he's 2 for 3. Here's a swing and a miss, and quickly 0-2 on Ron, I should say. That the second strikeout by Crowell today. So 0-2 the count. See if he can get a third. There's a swing and a little chop foul behind home plate. And the count remains 0-2. Well, the Rushmores certainly cannot afford to allow any more runs to score. 5-2 is the River Cats lead as we get here in the bottom of the 8th. One more shot for the Rushmores as Mittendorf takes the ball. It's 1-2. And it looks very much like Crowell will end up going the distance. Keep in mind, these are 58-plus Nationals. There's a swing and a pop-up into the shallow outfield. Can anybody get there? No. And it'll be a base hit for Mittendorf, who's on for the 4th time. It's first and second, and one out for Tudor. So the next batter, Tudor, he's singled. He's 1 for 3. Struck out in the 6th and grounded out in the 1st. 2 on, 1 out. Double play would be in order for the Rushmores. The pitch is over but low for a ball. 1-0 to Tudor with maybe a pinch. Looks like there was a courtesy runner over at first base for Mittendorf. Not quite sure about that. There's a comebacker up over the pitcher's head towards second. Out at second, safe at first, as eventually Kliss ended up making the play. A little miscommunication, but they got at least the 1 out. And now first and third with 2 outs for, I believe, it'll be Blackwell. Score of that one, a fielder's choice, 6 unassisted. First and third and 2 out with Blackwell, who came in as a pinch hitter back in the 6th. Takes a ball. Pinch hitting for Buchholz. And he's in an RBI situation with 2 outs. He grounded to short, his first and only time up. He's 0 for 1. We'll see if the runners want to go anywhere. Tudor at first and Newman at third. There's a swing and a pop foul out of play back here. That was not a pitch. I don't know how much of it you got to see, but the batter, Blackwell, had called time, so no pitch there. 1-1 is the count. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 8th, and the River Cats have a 5-2, 3-1 lead. 3 runs the difference in this game so far. And Crowell, who has pitched the distance, puts that one a little inside. It's 2-1. A little bit surprised to see that Tudor isn't running, except, of course, because they do have the lead. And we certainly have had our share of base running mistakes in this game. There's a swing and a fly ball, pretty well hit into right field, over for the right fielder, off his glove, and that is probably going to score too. Blackwell chugs into second base. Looks like he's going to go for third. Blackwell toward third. He'll be in there with either a triple or a 3-base error, and it's 7-2 for the River Cats. We'll call that one a 3-run triple for John Blackwell. He hit it pretty well into right field in a valiant effort by the right fielder, but he couldn't quite get to it. He did get to it, but it went off his glove. And Blackwell, who ran pretty well around the bases, ended up at third base with a 2-run triple, and it's 7-2, and that could easily be the death knell for the South Dakota Rushmores. They've had a hard time scoring runs, and to find themselves once again down by 5 going into the 9th inning, that's going to be a pretty tough chore. The batter right now, Irv Scott, and he popped that one foul to count 0-2. Randy Kroll has allowed 7 runs, 11 hits, 4 errors for his team. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled straight back. On the other side, 2-10-2 for the South Dakota Rushmores. 2 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for South Dakota. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and hit foul down first base. Yeah. 0-2 still the count to Irv Scott. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit behind third. Nice play by McKeever to end the inning. But the damage was done. 2 runs on a 2-run triple by John Blackwell will go to the 9th. It's 7-2 River Cats. John Papanikolaou has managed to scatter 10 hits, only allowing 2 runs here. They both came in the 6th inning. We're in the 9th, and it's 7-2 River Cats. The first man up is Bob Beatty. Wish I could say old Abner's done it again in the 9th, but truth be told, we start off with the number 6 hitter, and the Rushmores really do have their work cut out for them. The 1-0 pitch is outside, and it's 2-0. We don't have any more activity in the bullpen for the River Cats. That may just mean that the replacement is ready to go if need be. There's a strike into Beatty, and it's 2-1. We'll see if each of these hitters have a directive to wait for a strike. There's a well-hit ball into left field. It's going to get over the left fielder's head and to the wall. Beatty will easily make it in to second base with a stand-up double to lead off here in the top of the ninth inning. Well, you got to hand it to that old Abner. He always knows what he's doing. Here's Joe Pyle. A leadoff double by Bob Beatty, and he is replaced by a courtesy runner. Dick Sabers out there second base running for him. Man on second, nobody out. On the other hand, they haven't had a whole lot of success after getting the leadoff man on. They are down by 5. Here's a swing and a line drive right to the shortstop, and they almost had Sabers doubled up. He made a good base running play and was able to get back in safely, and he's on with 1 on and 1 out now. The Rushmore faithful look on as their team down to the final 2 outs. That'll bring up Ev Bradshaw. Here's the pitch from Papa Nicholas. Swung on and popped foul. Was it playable? It is, but unfortunately Herman could not make it all the way back there, and it'll bounce harmlessly on the sand for a strike. 0-1 the count. Now you can see the River Cats faithful over on the other side near the Anaheim dugout. 0-1 the count. Bradshaw the batter and runner at second base. 1 out the pitch. Swung on and grounded towards second. Bobbled by the second baseman. Throw to first, and they got him, and there are 2 outs. Runner takes third, and it looks like the Rushmores are down to their final out. Well, you got a pinch hitter coming up to bat here with 1 on 2 outs in the top of the ninth, and the River Cats enjoying a 5-run 7-2 lead. The Rushmores down to their final batter, and looks like Sagmo is having a little trouble with something in his eye. Interesting call, a left-handed pinch hitter against the left-handed Papa Nicholas, and the first pitch so far inside almost hits him. The runner on third base is, well, it is actually Sabers, who came in to run for Beatty, who hit a leadoff double, which so far hasn't made much difference. 1-0 the count. Papa Nicholas, the pitch. That one again actually went over the back of the batter, and it's 2-0. Bucky Sagmo getting his first action here. How do you like to come in down by 5 runs in the championship game with 1 on and 2 outs? It's asking an awful lot. Bucky, we want you to go up there and hit a 6-run homer. Sorry. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swung on and hit foul. This could be playable. Nope, it's going to drop behind home plate, and it's 2-1. What a gritty performance today by John Papa Nicholas, who has not only pitched a great game but also made some good plays in the field. John Larson standing in the on-deck circle to pinch hit should Sagmo be able to keep this game going. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Oh, he's swings and misses and falls to the dirt on what would have been ball 3, and it's 2-2. I think you could safely say he was fooled by that pitch. And they're down to 1 strike. 2-2, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul ball. And we'll set it up and do it again. You know, in all this time, as well as he has pitched, Papa Nicholas, he's made some amazing plays defensively as well. But in all this time, Papa Nicholas has yet to strike a batter out. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He strikes out, but the ball gets by the catcher. The run will come home. The throw toward first. He is safe at first. And the game continues. It's 7-3 on the strikeout. Well, we got the pinch hitter we were looking for. This is John Larson up to pinch hit after the RBI strikeout, and Larson pops one to left field, to shortstop back for it, makes the catch, and the game is over. And the Sacramento River Cats have won the 58+ National Division Championship. The final score is 7-3 over the South Dakota Rushmores. We'll total it up in just a minute. Well, the Sacramento River Cats, based on an explosive start to this game, they were quickly out to a 5-0 lead by the third inning. Final score today here at Tempe Diablo Stadium in Tempe, Arizona, 7-3. They scored 3 in the first, 2 in the third. They added a couple of insurance runs in the 8th to make it 7 runs on 11 hits, charged with 4 errors. 3 runs. The runs came in the 6th and 9th. 11 hits and 2 errors for the South Dakota Rushmores. They put on a valiant effort, but an outstanding pitching performance by John Papanikolaou. He'll get the win in the championship game. And the Sacramento River Cats finish them off with a final score of 7-3 to finish off this tournament here at the 2002 Men's Senior Baseball League World Series. You can see out at home plate, that's holding the trophy, Tom Prendergast, our tournament director, and he's going to make the presentation of the 58-plus National Division trophy to the Sacramento River Cats. You can see the River Cats have gathered around home plate for the presentation of the trophy. Pretty impressive performances all the way around on the South Dakota side. Certainly you can't say too much about Randy Crowell, who pitched a heck of a game himself. He gave up a bunch of runs as it turned out, but really can't say it was so much by pitching. There were plenty of errors in this game. Didn't really total up how many unearned runs we may have had. But some pretty good performances hitting-wise. Ray Newman got on every time he was up. Only 1 hit and later scored. He scored in the first and in the 8th. Got on a couple of walks and was hit by a pitch. Ron Mittendorf really did start things off in this one after an RBI double by Brian Ross in the first. He popped in 2 more with a 2-run triple in the first inning, and that set the stage. Ross also was 2 for 3 with a walk and a couple of runs scored. And certainly Mittendorf, who scored a run in the 8th inning, one of those insurance runs, did a good job hitting as well. But as we said before, really hats off to John Papanikolaou, who not only pitched himself a gem, only allowing 3 runs over 9 innings pitched, but he made some excellent defensive plays as well. So congratulations, the Sacramento River Cats, this year's 58-plus National Division Tournament champions at the 2002 MSBL World Series. Joel Becker with you, and Jeff Lowry from Tempe Diablo Stadium. Have a pleasant good afternoon. First pitch swung on and hit into the gap. This one is in left center field. It's going to get by the left center fielders and all the way toward the wall. This one will score 2, and it looks like Middendorf's heading around to third. He may think, well, he's going to just stand in at third with a 2-run triple, and it's 3-0 for the River Cats. In the innings before that, they had 3, 6, 8 hits. There's the swing, and a ground ball went off the pitcher toward first. The throw just got him on an outstanding play by Papa Nicholas. Nice catch over there at first base by Blackwell as well. And there's one out. And here we go with 3-1. Will the runner go? Not much of a lead. Oh, they have him picked off, and he is out at first. They had him leaning as Sales was looking to go on the pitch. A nice pickoff move to first, and the inning is over. So the 1-2 pitch is swung on, and it's a comebacker. That one to home for first. And first, it's a 1-2-3 double play, and the River Cats escape the inning with no damage done. Couple of hits, 3 base hits, and they leave 2. No runs scored, and after 3.5, it's River Cats 5 and Rushmore's nothing. We certainly have had our share of base running mistakes in this game. There's a swing and a fly ball, pretty well hit into right field, over for the right fielder, off his glove, and that is probably going to score too. Blackwell chugs into second base. Looks like he's going to go for third. Blackwell toward third. He'll be in there with either a triple or a 3-base error, and it's 7-2 for the River Cats. Interesting choice there for McKeever. He went home with it. He could have touched third and then went home. There's a swing and a ground ball to first. Oh, the first baseman with a tough play over to Papa Nicholas covering. A nice play all the way around, and the inning is over. Papa Nicholas pitching, and right back to him. He was unable to get the ball. Oh, this is going to end up being a double play. And what happened there was Papa Nicholas on the line drive straight back to him, caught the ball but dropped it, so he was out. That is to say, the batter was not out because he dropped the ball, but he threw to first. The first baseman tagged the bag. The runner on first going to second thought that the ball had been caught, so went back to the bag and was tagged out as a live runner. So the double play will go 1-3, and the inning is over. One more chance for the Rushmore. Well, we got the pinch hitter we were looking for. This is John Larson up to pinch hit after the RBI strikeout. And Larson pops one to left field, to shortstop back for it, makes the catch, and the game is over. And the Sacramento River Cats have won the 58+ National Division Championship. The final score is 7-3 over the South Dakota Rushmores. We'll total it up in just a minute.